This Sunday, the second reading is from St. Paul's most mature work, his letter to the Romans. In fact, Paul probably never wrote the letters. He spoke them, a scribe wrote them down, carried them to the community, and then they were read out. So if you've had the experience of being moved deeply by the proclaimed word, it seems to be entering in through your ears and then through your whole body and transforming your body, soul and spirit, that's the reason why, because the scripture is primarily a spoken text carrying the grace of Christ. In this particular reading today, we have this remarkable assertion that as thinking beings, we should offer our bodies as a living sacrifice. Now, something very interesting has happened here in the latter part of the 20th century and now moving through the 21st century as a development of doctrine in the church's sexual ethic. It comes via the teaching of Pope John Paul II. He was elected in 1978 as Pope and then died in 2005, making him one of the longest reigning popes. From the years 1979 until 1984, he delivered what is called now the theology of the body. So let me outline it for you. It's extremely important for young people who are being bombarded today with very strange and odd views of human sexuality. The Pope, through his phenomenological method and through his very, very rich Thomistic background, has developed three experiences, primordial experiences, prior to original sin. So for basically 1600 years, the church has had one original sin. So you ask any really well catechized person and they'll say to you, if you say to them, complete the phrase, they'll say original sin. With this particular Pope, however, we have original solitude, original unity, original nakedness, and then a reflection on original sin. It's quite a revolution. A commentator of the Pope's writing, George Weigel, called it a theological time bomb due to be detonated sometime in the 21st century. It's a great phrase, and it's true. So the idea is that Adam and Eve had an experience, and so too every single human being should have an experience of solitude, of unity, an experience of nakedness, and then an experience of original sin. If they do, the Pope says, they will come to an awareness that their human body is symbolic. That's from the experience of solitude. From the experience of unity, that their body is spousal. Their body is meant for love, not lust, but love. If they have an experience of original nakedness, they'll come to understand that their body is beautiful and free. And then, if they have an experience, a proper experience of original sin, they'll come to understand that their body is wounded, their soul, their whole being is wounded, yet redeemed. Very important point the Pope makes there. Now, if this is true, which it seemingly is, seems to be true, these original experiences which we have, helping us understand that our body is symbolic, spousal, beautiful and free, wounded yet redeemed, then human sexuality is symbolic, spousal, meant for love, beautiful and free, wounded yet redeemed. A lot of people in the modern world have probably had that latter experience, but now this offers them the opportunity to have the experience of sexuality in a very positive way. Sexuality is symbolic. What this means is, if you think of your hearing symbolic of understanding. Touch, the most important sense that we have, touch is symbolic of love. So you get the idea. Go through the five senses and see how they're symbolic. And then our bodies are not meant for lust, as is the common message in the modern world, but they're meant for love, tenderness, unity, procreation, and then parental life. Sex, in other words, is the most transformative thing that we have. Beautiful teaching. Pope John Paul II gave it between 1979 and 1984. And the majority of people in the church can live this experience and contribute substantially to the benefit of their families and of society.